One of the first things you see upon arriving at the Pope Farm Conservancy is its unique and beautifully constructed stone fence. In fact, it's one of the few remaining fences of its kind in the area, and it's a bit unusual to see one. It certainly didn't build itself, so how did it come to be? Over 15,000 years ago, the Green Bay Lobe, part of the continental glacier, brought millions of tons of stone and debris from Canada into southern Wisconsin, including the land that is now Pope Farm Conservancy. When the settlers began clearing this land for planting their crops, it quickly became apparent they would need to remove these inconvenient stone remnants and debris if they had any hope of making a go of it in their new country. But where to start? That was the quandary facing George Siebert and Charles Brockenwagen when they first started building the stone fence in the mid-1850s. At the time, it was customary to build stone fences for confining barnyard animals and cattle, as well as to mark property boundaries. Constructing the stone fence you see here served a practical purpose. It was a working fence and a physical boundary between their properties. It is believed that George and Charles likely first cleared the lower fields, which lie closest to what is now Old Sauk Road. George and Charles began pulling the stones out of the fields to begin the actual construction of the stone fence. To do this, they used oxen rather than horsepower because oxen have the ability to pull about twice as much as a horse. Oxen power was needed to pull a plow through the prairie sod for the first time and to pull the larger-sized boulders. To move the stones to the desired location, they were piled on a stone boat. A stone boat consisted of wooden planks fastened to a couple of logs. It was low to the ground, which helped roll the stones onto it before being pulled to the fence line. The challenge of clearing these stones from the land went on day after day, year after year. And if that weren't enough, every spring the freezing and thawing of the earth would grow a new crop of stones that needed to be added to the wall every spring. By 1860, about 40 acres of land was cleared for planting. Remember, this was the easy half of the total acreage to be cleared. As subsequent farmers cleared the land and worked their way up the hillside, they encountered more stones. As you look at the stone fence today, you will see that it gets higher as it goes up the hill. If you look along the crest of the hill, you can see how carefully these settlers placed each stone as they built this stone wall to perfection. In all, it took the settlers, farmers, and their animal companions roughly 26 years to complete what you see today. This stone fence was eventually completed around 1880. Stone fences can be seen in glaciated areas of southern Wisconsin, but they aren't commonplace. The mechanization of farming and new types of man-made fencing made the practice of constructing stone fences obsolete. It simply became easier to roll the stones into surrounding ravines or woodlands. Here at the Conservancy, we're fortunate to have such a magnificent example of an early stone fence. While it is picturesque to be sure, it also serves as a reminder to us of the hard work and toil necessary in living off the land.